I usually buy a ham sandwich and about 4 magazines. If I'm on a train at night, I can usually even read one of those dumb stories in a magazine without puking. You know, one of those stories with a lot of phony, lean-jawed guys named David in it, and a lot of phony girls named Linda or Marcia that are always lighting all the goddamn David's pipes for them. I can even read one of those lousy stories on a train. Women kill me. They really do. I don't mean I'm oversexed or anything like that, although I am quite sexy. I just like them. I mean, they're always leaving their goddamn bags out in the middle of the aisle. Her son was doubtless the biggest bastard that ever went to Pensy in the whole crummy history of the school. He was always going down the corridor after he'd had a shower, snapping his soggy old wet towel at people's asses. That's exactly the kind of a guy he was. She looked like she might have a pretty damn good idea what a bastard she was the mother of.
Whoa, dude.
But you can't always tell with somebody's mother. I mean, mothers are all slightly insane. The thing is, though, I liked old Morrow's mother. She was all right. Would you care for a cigarette? I asked her. She looked all around.
So that song?
I don't believe this is a smoker,
Stacy's
Rudolph,
mom
she said.
has got it going on.
Rudolph. That killed me. She looked nice smoking. She inhaled and all, but she didn't wolf the smoke down the way most women around her age do. She had a lot of charm. She had quite a lot of sex appeal, too, if you really want to know.
Whoa. Oh.
She was looking at me sort of funny.
She's a MILF.
I may be wrong.
The 1940s
but I believe
MILF.
Your nose is bleeding, dear, she said. They stay a rat their whole life. But I'll bet, after all that crap I shot, Mrs. Morrow will keep thinking of him now as this very shy, modest guy that wouldn't let us nominate him for president. She might. You can't tell. She really looked worried about it. She wasn't just being nosy, you could tell. No, everybody's fine at home, I said. It's me. I have to have this operation. Oh, I'm so sorry, she said.
So sorry.
She really was, too. I was right away sorry I'd said it, but it was too late. It isn't very serious. I have this tiny little tumor on the brain. Oh, no. She put her hand up to her mouth and all. Oh, I'll be all right and everything. It's right near the outside, and it's a very tiny one. They can take it out in about 2 minutes.
Oh, my God, dude.
Then I started reading this timetable I had in my pocket. Just to stop lying. Once I get started, I can go on for hours if I feel like it. No kidding. Hours.
You're a scumbag.
But I just thanked her and told her I was going to South America with my grandmother. Which is really a hot one because my grandmother hardly ever even goes out of the house. Except maybe to go to a goddamn matinee or something. Then I thought of calling up this guy that went to the Hooten school when I was there. Carl Luce. But I didn't like him much. So I ended up not calling anybody. I came out of the booth after about 20 minutes
why
or so.
Why did we go through all that then?
Over to that. I'm so damn absent-minded. I gave the driver my regular address just out of habit and all. I mean, I completely forgot I was going to shack up in a hotel for a couple of days and not go home till vacation started.
Yeah, because you're an
idiot. I didn't think of it till we were halfway through the park. Then I said, hey, we got to the Edmont Hotel, and I checked in. I didn't want to look like a screwball or something, which is really ironic. I didn't know then that the goddamn hotel was full of perverts and morons, screwballs all over the place. I didn't care much. I was too depressed to care whether I had a good view or not.
I think you cared quite a bit.
The bellboy that showed me to the room was this very old guy around 65. He was even more depressing than the room was. He was one of those bald guys that comb all their hair over from the side to cover up the baldness. I'd rather be bald than do that. Anyway, what a gorgeous job for a guy around 65 years old, carrying people's suitcases and waiting around for a tip. I suppose he wasn't too intelligent or anything, but it was terrible anyway.
You're judging this guy for having a job?
After he left, I saw one guy, a gray-haired, very distinguished-looking guy with only his shorts on, do something you wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Okay.
First, he put his suitcase on the bed. Then he took out all these women's clothes and put them on. Real women's clothes. Silk stockings, high-heeled shoes, brassiere, and one of those corsets with the straps hanging down and all.
Okay.
Then he put on this very tight black evening dress, I swear to God. Then he started walking up and down the room, taking these very small steps the way a woman does, and smoking a cigarette and looking at himself in the mirror.
I very much believe this.
He was all alone, too. Unless somebody was in the bathroom. I couldn't see that much.
Why are you spying on people?
Almost right over his. Then she did it to him. They took turns, for God's sake. You should have seen them.
No,
they
thank
were
you.
in hysterics the whole time, like it was the funniest thing that ever happened. I'm not kidding. The hotel was lousy with perverts. I was probably the only normal bastard in the whole place, and that isn't saying much. I damn near sent a telegram to old Stradlater telling him to take the first train to New York.
You hate Stradlater.
Hotel. I think if you don't really like a girl, you shouldn't horse around with her at all. And if you do like her, then you're supposed to like her face. And if you like her face, you ought to be careful about doing crummy stuff to it, like squirting water all over it. I knew this one girl a couple of years ago that was even crummier than I was. Boy, was she crummy.
Okay, let's hear this.
We had a lot of fun, though, for a while, in a crummy way.
Okay.
Sex is something I really don't understand too hot.
I believe that.
You never know where the hell you are. I keep making up these sex rules for myself, and then I break them right away. Last year, I made a rule that I was going to quit horsing around with girls that deep down gave me a pain in the ass. I broke it, though, the same week I made it. The same night, as a matter of fact. I spent the whole night necking with a terrible phony named Anne Louise Sherman.
Oh my God, dude.
Sex is something I just don't understand. I swear to God I don't. You weren't supposed to call students up late at night, but I had it all figured out. I was going to tell whoever answered the phone that I was her uncle. I was going to say her aunt had just got killed in a car accident, and I had to speak to her immediately. It would have worked, too. The only reason I didn't do it was because I wasn't in the mood.
Well, then why did you bring it up?
You can't do that stuff, right? After a while, I sat down in a chair and smoked a couple of cigarettes. I was feeling pretty horny. I have to admit it. Then all of a sudden, I got this idea. I took out my wallet and started looking for this address a guy I met at a party last summer that went to Princeton gave me. Finally, I found it. It was all a funny color from my wallet, but you could still read it. It was the address of this girl that wasn't exactly a whore or anything, but that didn't mind doing it once in a while, this Princeton guy told me. He brought her to a dance at Princeton once, and they nearly kicked him out for bringing her. She used to be a burlesque stripper or something. Anyway, I went over to the phone and gave her a buzz. Her name was Faith Cavendish, and she lived at the Stanford Arms Hotel on 65th and Broadway.
Oh, she lives at a hotel. She's definitely a
dump,
hooker.
No doubt. For a while, I didn't think she was home or something. Nobody kept answering. Then finally, somebody picked up the phone.
It is 3 a.m., sir.
Hello? I know it's quite late, I said, in this very mature voice and all. I hope you'll forgive me, but I was very anxious to get in touch with you. I said it suave as hell.
Did you, though?
Boy, she was a real tigress over the phone. She was damn near yelling at me.
Yeah, I mean, come on, dude.
Edmund Birdsell. Eddie Birdsell.
I called her up in the middle of the night
his name was
on the off chance that she might want to have sex with a total stranger. I only met him once at a
goddamn stupid party. Birdsell, from Princeton. Princeton College?
Hang up.
That's right.
Just hang up.
You from Princeton College? You sound a little on the young side. I laughed. Thank you for the compliment, I said. Suave as hell.
I'm sure, dude. Sure, bro. I'm sure that's what you think.
I should have given her a phony name, but I didn't think of it.
Because you're an idiot. You don't go into this calling people in the middle of the night, not have a... I'm just going to give them my real name. Psychopath. Plan better.
Sunday, I told. I thought of maybe hanging up if my parents answered, but that wouldn't have worked either. They'd know it was me. My mother always knows it's me. She's psychic. But I certainly
dude, she's psychic. No, she just recognizes the voice of her beloved offspring, even if he is a boundaryless
I'm the only dumb one in the family. My brother DB is a writer and all, and my brother Ali, the one that died that I told you about, was a wizard. I'm the only really dumb one.
Gandalf.
But you ought to see old
Wizard of
Phoebe.
Tavern Frodo Baggins.
She has this sort of red hair. In the wintertime, it's pretty long, though.
Talking about
my mother braids it, and sometimes she doesn't. It's really nice, though. She's only 10. She's quite skinny like me, but nice skinny. Roller skate skinny. I watched her once from the window when she was crossing over 5th Avenue to go to the park, and that's what she is. Roller skate skinny. You'd like her. I mean, if you tell old Phoebe something, she knows exactly
He's talking about his 10-year-old sister.
I mean, you can even take her anywhere with you. If you take her to a lousy movie, for instance, she knows it's a lousy movie. If you take her to a pretty good movie, she knows it's a pretty good movie.
Yes, 10-year-olds can
DP and I
discern
took her to
this.
see this French movie, The Baker's Wife, with Raimu in it. It killed her. Her favorite is The 39 Steps, though, with Robert Donat. She knows the whole
he was
goddamn movie.
He was the Ernest Cline of his day.
I've taken her to see it about 10 times. When old Donat comes up to this Scotch farmhouse, for instance, when he's running away from the cops and all, Phoebe will say right out loud in the movie, right when the Scottish guy in the picture says it, "Can you eat the herring?" She knows all the talk by heart.
This is exactly Ready Player
One. In the picture that's really a German spy. The band was putrid. Buddy Singer. Very brassy, but not good brassy. Corny brassy. Also, there were very few people around my age in the place.
Yeah, dude, fact, you're a teenager.
Nobody was around my age. I said it fast as hell because if you hem and haw, they think you're under 21 and won't sell you any intoxicating liquor.
Yeah, they don't want to go to jail.
I had trouble with him anyway, though. "I'm sorry, sir," he said, "but do you have some verification of your age? Your driver's license, perhaps?"
"I'm sorry, sir."
I gave him this very cold stare, like he'd insulted the hell out of me, and asked him, "Do I look like I'm under 21?
Yes.
"Oh, I'm sorry, sir, but we have our..." Okay, I said. I figured the hell with it. "Bring me a Coke." He started to go away, but I called him back. "Can't you stick a little rum in it or something?" I asked him.
This guy.
I asked him very nicely and all. I can't sit in a corny place like this cold sober.
Dude,
can't you stick a little rum in it or something?
So leave.
"I'm very sorry, sir," he said, and beat it on me. I didn't hold it against him, though. They lose their jobs if they get caught selling to a minor.
So why are you complaining about it?
I'm minor. I started giving the three witches at the next table the eye again. That is, the blonde one. The other two were strictly from hunger. I didn't do it crudely, though. I just gave all three of them this very cool glance and all.
I can imagine what this cool glance, what he thinks it looks like, and what it actually is.
I was too young to give anybody. Would any of you girls care to dance?
And they all said, "No, leave. Leave us alone. You weird kid."
Damn it, they thought. Finally, the blonde one got up to dance with me because you could tell I was really talking to her, and we walked out to the dance floor. The other two gruels nearly had hysterics when we did. I certainly must have been very hard up to even bother with any of them.
My God, dude.
But it was worth it. I'm not kidding. Some of these very stupid girls can really knock you out on a dance floor. You take a really smart girl, and half the time she's trying to lead you around the dance floor, or else she's such a lousy dancer. The best thing to do is stay at the table and get drunk with her. What? She said. She wasn't even listening to me. She was looking all around the place.
Yeah, she was looking for an exit.
Did you ever hear? God, could that dopey girl dance? Buddy Singer and his stinking band was playing just one of those things, and even they couldn't ruin it entirely. It's a swell song. Watch your language if you don't mind. What a lady, boy. A queen, for Christ's sake. Where are you girls from?
What a lady, boy.
She didn't answer me, though. She was busy looking around for old Peter Lorre to show up, I guess. Where you girls from? I asked her again.
I want to stalk all of you, you dumb idiots.
Where are you girls from? Don't answer if you don't feel like it. I don't want you to strain yourself. Seattle, Washington, she said. She was doing me a big favor to tell me. You're a very good conversationalist, I told her. You know that? She was really good. All you had to do was touch her. And when she turned around, her pretty little butt twitched so nice and all. She knocked me out. I mean it. I was half in love with her by the time we sat down.
Even though she was a big, fat, stupid moron dancer girl.
Something pretty. The blonde I'd been dancing with's name was Bernice something. Krabs or Krebs.
It's probably Krebs, dude. That's a real name.
Laverne. I told them my name was Jim Steele, just for the hell of it.
Yeah, they knew immediately that was a fake name.
I thought the two ugly ones, Marty and Laverne, were sisters, but they got very insulted when I asked them. You could tell neither one of them wanted to look like the other one, and you couldn't blame them, but it was very amusing anyway. I danced with them all.
Why do people relate to this guy? He's awful. He is awful.
Wasn't too bad a dancer when he stood up and took a couple of ice-cold hot licks. She called his clarinet a licorice stick.
Yeah, it's the 40s, bro.
The other ugly one, Laverne, thought she was a very witty type. She kept asking me to call up my
If you don't like these girls, why are you still trying to hang out with them?
She kept asking me if all of a sudden, when they finished their drink, All three of them stood up on me and said they had to get to bed. They said they were going to get up early to see the first show at Radio City Music Hall.
Yeah, they have plans.
I tried to get them to stick around for a while, but they wouldn't. So we said goodbye and all. I told them I'd look them up in Seattle sometime.
No, don't do that.
There, but I doubt if I ever will. Look them up, I mean.
Yeah,
with cigarettes and all, the check came to about $13. I think they should have at least offered to pay for the drinks they had before I joined them. I wouldn't have let them, naturally, but they should have at least offered. I didn't care much, though. They were so...
I think you do care because you wrote it in your book.
Fancy hats on and all.
Holden / JD.
Getting up early to see the first show. I really got to know her quite intimately. I don't mean it was anything physical or anything. It wasn't. But we saw each other all the time. You don't always have to get too sexy to get to know a girl.
Too sexy to get to know a girl? What in God's name does that mean?
She had used to come over and relieve himself on our lawn, and my mother got very irritated about it. She called up Jane's mother and made a big stink about it. My mother can make a very big stink about that kind of stuff. She gave me the big freeze when I said hello that day, though. I had a hell of a time convincing her that I didn't give a good goddamn where her dog relieved himself. He could do it in the living room for all I cared.
Is this going anywhere?
After that, Jane and I got to be friends and all. I played golf with her that same afternoon. She lost 8 balls.
So she didn't give you the big freeze.
8. I had a terrible time getting her to at least open her eyes when she took a swing at the ball. I improved her game immensely, though.
Oh, did you? Oh, did you?
Would
you care to elaborate?
Go around it, you probably wouldn't believe me.
I don't.
I almost was once in a movie short. She was a funny girl, old Jane. I wouldn't exactly describe her as strictly beautiful. She knocked me out, though. She was sort of muckle-mouthed. I mean, when she was talking and she got excited about something, her mouth sort of went in about 50 directions, her lips and all. That killed me. And she never really closed it all the way, her mouth. It was always just a little bit open, especially when she got in her golf stance or when she was reading a book. She was always reading.
This is the girl that he likes. This is the girl that he flipped out that another dude was going out with.
She was the only one outside my... I did, though. I just liked the way she looked, that's all.
But no, bro, you just said that...
one afternoon. It was the only time old Jane and I ever got close to necking even. It was a Saturday, and it was raining like a bastard out, and I was over at her house on the porch. They had this big screened-in porch. We were playing checkers. I used to kid her once in a while because she wouldn't take her kings out of the back row.
Yes, we know. We've been over this.
But I didn't kid her much, though. Sometimes I think they'd like it if you kidded them. In fact, I know they would. But it's hard to get started once you've known them a pretty long time and never kidded them.
That was revolting.
Anyway, Ernie's a big fat colored guy that plays the piano. He's a terrific snob, and he won't hardly even talk to you unless you're a big shot or a celebrity or something. But he can really play the piano. He's so good, he's almost corny, in fact.
He's so good, he's almost corny.
But I mean it. I certainly like to hear him play, but sometimes you feel like turning his goddamn piano over. I think it's because sometimes when he plays, he sounds like the kind of guy that won't talk to you unless you're a big shot.
You make a lot of assumptions about people, man.
One that smelled like someone had just tossed his cookies in it. New York's terrible when somebody laughs on the street very late at night. You can hear it for miles. It makes you feel so lonesome and depressed.
Other people's happiness is just horrible.
For a while with after I was riding a while, the cab driver and I sort of struck up a conversation.
Oh, you're talking to somebody else now. Okay.
He was a much
Tell me why you hate this person.
Do you happen to know where they go in the wintertime by any chance?
Where do the whores go?
Where who goes? The ducks.
It's a Game of Thrones reference.
Do you know by any chance?
From the books.
I mean, does somebody come around in a truck or something?
Yes, but where do the ducks go?
Or do they fly away by
Tyrion
themselves?
says it in
or something?
Volantis, I think.
Old Horwitz turned all
the
way
Dance
around
of
and looked at me.
Dragons.
How the hell should I know, he said. How the hell should I know a stupid thing like that?
It's a good point.
Well, don't get sore about it, I said. He was sore about it or something. Who's sore? Nobody's sore. The fish, that's different. The fish is different. I'm talking about the ducks, I said.
Why is he on about the ducks? What is why does he have this duck fetish?
Ernie's was jam-packed. Mostly with prep school jerks and college jerks. Almost every damn school
jerks, jerkity jerks. Everyone's a jerk, a phony, or a moron, except me. I'm like the best.
Ernie was playing the piano. He had a big damn mirror in front of the piano with this big spotlight on him so that everybody could watch his face while he played. You couldn't see his fingers while he played, just his big old face. Big deal. I'm not too sure what the name of the song was that he was playing when I came in, but whatever it was, he was really stinking it up. He was putting all these dumb show-offy ripples in the high notes and a lot of other very tricky stuff that gives me a pain in the ass. You should have heard the crowd, though, when he was finished. You would have puked.
This is just non-stop complaining about literally everything.
The same morons that laugh like hyenas in the movies at stuff that isn't funny. I swear to God, if I were a piano player or an actor or something and all those dopes thought I was terrific, I'd hate it. I wouldn't even want them to clap for me. People always clap for the wrong things. If I were a piano player, I'd play it in the goddamn closet. Anyway.
What? Well, you would play the piano in the closet?
Old Ernie
that doesn't even make sense, dude.
I was surrounded by jerks. I'm not kidding. At this other tiny table right to my left, practically on top of me, there was this funny-looking guy and this funny-looking girl.
Oh my gosh, look at all these morons and phonies and dopes and jerks.
Being careful as hell not to drink up the minimum too fast.
I'm not the problem.
I listened to their conversation for a while. He gave her every single goddamn play in the whole game. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, he's a football fan. That's what they do.
And you could tell his date wasn't even interested in the goddamn game, but she was even funnier looking than he was, so I guess she had to listen. Real ugly girls have it tough. I feel so sorry for them sometimes. Sometimes I can't even look at them, especially if there was some dopey guy that's telling them all about a goddamn football game. There was this very Joe Yale looking guy in a gray flannel suit and one of those flitty looking Tattersall vests. All those Ivy League bastards look alike. My father wants me to go to Yale or maybe Princeton, but I swear I wouldn't go to one of those Ivy League colleges if I was dying, for God's sake.
They wouldn't let you in because you're stupid and you suck at school.
This guy had a terrific-looking girl
and
with him.
She was good-looking. Your presence and personality is revolting and reprehensible. So no, you're not going to an Ivy League school. So don't even worry about that, bro.
All of a sudden, this girl came up to me and said, "Holden Caulfield."
Okay, someone knows him.
Her name was Lillian Simmons. My brother D.B. used to go around with her for a while.
Okay.
She had very big knockers. "Hi," I said. I tried to get up, naturally, but it was some job getting up at a place like that. She had some Navy officer with her that looked like he had a poker up his ass. "How marvelous to see you," old Lillian Simmons said, strictly a phony.
But she has big knockers, right? I mean...
That's all she really wanted to know. You could tell she liked to block up a lot of traffic. This waiter was waiting for her to move out of the way, but she didn't even notice him. It was funny. You could tell the waiter didn't like her much. You could tell even the Navy guy didn't like her much, even though he was dating her. And I didn't like her much.
Yeah, you don't say.
No, I did. You had to feel sort of sorry for her in a way.
Why?
"Don't you have a date, baby?" she asked me. I was standing up now.
She's trying to be nice to you, dude.
I'm just no good at it, though. I'd rather push a guy out the window or chop his head off with an axe than sock him in the jaw. I hate fist fights. I don't mind getting hit so much, although I'm not crazy about it naturally.
I just want to horribly murder somebody.
Fist fight is the guys. Once at the Wooten School, this other boy, Raymond Goldfarb, and I bought a pint of scotch and drank it in the chapel one Saturday night where nobody
It's more
had
characters
seen
than a
us.
cozy mystery.
He got
that
stinking,
don't matter.
But I hardly didn't even show it. I just got very cool and nonchalant. I puked before I went to bed, but I didn't really have to. I forced myself.
What? What?
Anyway,
what?
before I got
No,
to
go
the
back.
hotel, I started to go in this dumpy-looking bar, but two guys came out drunk as hell and wanted to know where the subway was. One of them was this very Cuban-looking guy, and he kept breathing his stinking breath in my face while I gave him directions. I ended up not even going to the damn bar. I went to my room and put some water on my hair, but you can't really comb a crew cut or anything. Then I tested to see if my breath stank from so many cigarettes and the scotch and soda.
No, bro, she's a hooker. She's not going to give a shit.
Hold your hand under your mouth and blow your breath up toward the old nostrils. It didn't seem to sting much, but I brushed my teeth.
Why do you want to impress
anyway.
this hooker?
Then I put on another clean shirt. I knew I didn't have to get all dolled up for a prostitute or anything.
Yeah, dolls up is something that girls
do. It sort of gave me
do.
something to do. I was a little nervous. I was starting to feel pretty sexy and all, but I was a little nervous anyway. If you want to know the truth, I'm a virgin. I really am.
Oh, it comes out.
Opportunities to lose my virginity and all, but I've never got around to it yet. Something always happens.
Yeah, they realize, oh my gosh, I can't be connected with this person through a baby. I'll have a freak baby that complains about everything.
Somebody's date Take this girl that I just missed having sexual intercourse with, that I told you about. It took me about an hour to just get her goddamn brassiere off. By the time I did get it off, she was about ready to
An hour? Are you an idiot?
Anyway, I kept walking around the room waiting for this prostitute to show up. I kept hoping she'd be good looking. I didn't care too much, though. I sort of just wanted to get it over with. Finally, somebody knocked on the door, and when I went to open it, I had my suitcase right in the way, and I fell over it and damn near broke my knee. "You got a watch on you?" she said. She didn't care what the hell my name was, naturally. "Hey, how old are you anyways?" "Me? 22. "Like fun you are."
Like
It was
fun?
a funny thing to say. "Don't you feel like talking for a while?" I asked her.
No.
It was a childish thing to say, but I was feeling so damn peculiar. "Are you in a very big hurry?" She looked at me like I was a madman.
You
"What the
are.
heck you want to talk about?" she said. "I don't know. Nothing special. I just thought perhaps you might care to chat for a while."
No,
She
she's
sat
there
down in
for
the chair
one reason,
next
bro.
to the desk again. She came over to me with this funny look on her face, like as if she didn't believe me. "What's the matter?" she said.
You gay or something? It's okay if you are.
She was sore as hell, but she got up off my goddamn lap so that I could go over and get my wallet off the chiffonier. I took out a
There it
$5
is,
bill and handed it to
chiffonier.
her.
Dude,
"Thanks a
that's
lot," I
the
told
best.
her.
That's
"Thanks
the
a
best
million."
word of the whole.
"This is a 5. It costs 10.
Chiffonier.
"So long, crumb bum," she said. "So long," I said. I didn't thank her or anything. I'm glad I didn't. I paid her already. I gave her $5. "Ask her," I said. Boy, was my voice shaking. "It's $10, Chief. I told you that. $10 for a throw, $15 till noon. I told you that." "You did not tell me that. You said $5 a throw. You said $15 till noon, all right.
Just
But
give
I
it to him.
distinctly heard you. Open up, Chief." "What for?" I said.
You're gonna lose
God,
this
my
fight,
old heart
bro.
was
You already
damn near
lost one
beating
fight
me out of the
today.
room. I wished I was dressed, at least. It's terrible to be just in your pajamas when something like that happens. "Let's go, Chief," old Morris said. Then he gave me a big shove with his crummy hand. I damn near fell
crumb
over
bum,
on my
crumb,
can.
crumb, crumb.
He was a
Corny,
huge
stupid,
son of a
phony
bitch.
bastard
The
moron
next
and
thing I knew,
all.
he and old Sonny were both in the room. They acted like they owned the damn place.
Well, they
Old
kinda do.
Sonny sat down on the windowsill.
They
Old
kinda do,
Morris
bro.
sat down in the big chair and loosened
At
his
this
collar
point,
and
yeah.
all. My voice was cracking all over the place. "You're trying to chisel me." Old Morris unbuttoned his whole uniform
Chisel. I'm
coat.
not trying to chisel you.
All he had on underneath was a phony shirt collar, but no shirt or anything. He had a big, fat, hairy stomach. "Nobody's trying to chisel nobody," he said. "Let's have it, Chief." "Let's have it, Chief." He came right up to where I was standing. That's all he could say. "Let's have it, Chief." He was a real moron.
You're about to
No.
get your ass kicked, dude. I don't
"Chief,
think
you're
this
gonna
is the
force
right time
me
for
into
that.
roughing you up a little bit. I don't want to do it, but that's the way it looks," he said. "You owe us $5.
Give him the
"I
$5,
don't owe
dude.
you $5, I said. "If you rough me up, I'll yell like hell. I'll wake up everybody in the hotel, the police, and all."
The police
My
don't
voice was
care.
shaking like a bastard. God, what a jerk I was. Then Sonny said something for the first time. "Hey, Morris, want me to get his wallet?" she said. "It's right on the whatchamacallit."
The chiffonier?
"Yeah, get it. Leave my wallet alone."
Leave it
"I
alone.
already got it," Sonny said.
Brittany
She
alone.
laid $5 at me.
Is it Morris or Maurice?
"Who's hurting anybody?" he said, innocent as hell. Then what he did, he snapped his finger very hard on my pajamas. I won't tell you where he snapped it, but it hurt like hell.
On his
I
penis.
told him he was a goddamn dirty moron. "What's that?" he said.
Wrong
He put his
move,
hand
dude.
behind his ear like a deaf guy. "What's that? What am I?" I was still sort of crying. I was so damn mad and nervous and all. "You're a dirty moron," I said. "You're a stupid, chiseling moron. In about 2 years, you'll be one of those scraggy guys that come up to you on the street and ask for a
asking
dime
for
for
it.
coffee.
He's an
You'll have
idiot.
snot all over your dirty, filthy overcoat,
Why is he
and you'll
doing
be..."
this?
Then he smacked me.
Yeah.
I didn't even try to
Good.
get out of the way or duck or anything. All I felt was this terrific punch in my stomach. Only this time, I thought I was dying. I really did.
So some
I
guy
thought I was
flicks you in
drowning
the
or
dick,
something.
and punches
Trouble
you in the
was, I could
stomach,
hardly breathe.
and you're dying.
When I did finally get
Wow.
up, I had to walk to the bathroom all doubled
There's
up
a
and
word
holding onto
for
my
that.
stomach and all.